Thank you very much. Appreciate that, and I'm going to continue on in that vein. Minister Lametti, part of Bill C-30 adds these 13 new Superior Court positions in order to, quote, assist the courts in dealing with their caseloads in a timely manner, quote. However, for 5.5 years, your government has been repeatedly criticized for failing to fill judicial vacancies promptly, including by this Senate Legal Committee. The number of federal judicial vacancies across Canada during your administration generally fluctuates between about 40 to 60, and that's even after this long in office. So, Minister, it's really not so much about the creating of these judicial positions, it's much more about the filling of these judicial positions, and that's what's solely in your government's power, and that, of course, helps to lessen the major problems of criminal court delays in Canada, which can result in serious criminal charges being dropped. So, Minister, your government has had continued deficiencies in filling judicial vacancies. So how can we be reassured that these 13 new judges will be appointed quickly?
Thank you, Senator, for your question. We put into place in 2016 a new process for appointing senators that was much more transparent, that was built on rigorous work of judicial appointment committees across Canada. And I think it's fair to say that system took a bit of time to get started, but it has been working reasonably well, with the exception of the 2019 election, when we went through a long period, and perhaps this is a lesson for the future. We went through a long period between June of 2019 and effectively when we got back and up and running again with re-swearings in of ministers, in my case, a re-swearing in of myself, in which we didn't make appointments. But other than that, I think the system has worked very, very well. As I said, we're down to 36. That number will go down again. And I think the lesson learned was we should continue to appoint judges, except during the actual formal writ period, with an election in view. The JACs are working reasonably well. Sometimes they are difficult to compose because they require participation from a variety of different quarters. And oftentimes it's provincial or territorial governments that are naming people as their representatives to those JACs. But they are up and running now. And as I said, 36 vacancies is at the very low end, and it's going to go even lower sooner. And I think people are exceedingly happy with the quality of the appointments that we have been making, both in terms of diversity and in terms of quality. And finally, we've taken other measures to help speed up the system. Bill C-75 in the last Parliament will have a positive impact, is having a positive impact, and Bill C-22, which I currently have in front of the House, which will eliminate a number of minimum mandatory penalties, will have a great impact on speeding up the criminal justice system. Over half of the charter half of the charter challenges in Canadian courts right now are challenging minimum mandatory penalties, oftentimes with great success. These often clog up the systems and allow sadly, judicial resources to be spent on people who shouldn't be in jail in the first place because of the nature of their crime or their charge. And we end up wasting those precious resources on those kinds of cases. So all of that will help, and we're taking all of those measures very seriously.
Okay, Minister, just a couple of points on that. First of all, 2016, when you put that new process in place, is now 5 years ago. And also 2019 election, that started in mid-September, and your government was sworn back in by November. So it didn't really take as much time away. And of course, your government stayed in power and you stayed in your same portfolio. So that should have lessened the time frame for that.
Well, I'm going to dispute that, Senator, because we were told to not make appointments over the summer. This was the first time we had the fixed election date in place for an election period. And I think the lesson is for next time that you keep appointing up until the writ.